Morning, YouTube. Welcome to part 3. I've got a couple nice pieces of stainless here, and these are going to be my these are coming out almost level, close enough for the girls I go out with. I guess the rear tailpipes. They're nice and shiny. I tried to get the U-joint bin kit, or not U-joint, U-bins and stuff. I tried to get it stainless steel, but by the time I got to it, they were all gone. If I would have known how nice this stainless is, I would have got, I would have spent a little more money and got it. But this is 4 feet. I probably need maybe 3. I gotta go from just back of the axle out the back of the car here. So I'm going to do that by cutting a couple 45s in here, and I got to go under the cross member, and then out the back of the car. I may have to dent them a little to clear the suspension, or not suspension, the support bar across the back of the rear of the frame. But this is going to be the final step to the tailpipe saga. Well, maybe not the final step. I still have to weld some support brackets in it. So anyway, I hope you like this video. I made 3 parts. I made from the front to the mufflers, and then the muffler part with double 90s that went over the rear end, and then of course this will be the rear tailpipe video. So I basically got 3 videos. I know I put a lot of stuff in these videos that maybe you don't want to watch. Feel free to skip ahead. Doesn't sound bad at all. But I'm trying to keep them interesting and trying to get the channel up and more viewers and more subscribers. So if you find some value in this, hit the like button, hit a subscribe, leave me a comment. I'll answer everybody. If you got questions, or good, bad, intermediate, doesn't make any difference. I learn a lot from you guys. Maybe you learn something from me. But this old 29 Chrysler here is going to be quite the machine, and this is sort of a major part of it, because once I get these mufflers in, then I can go ahead and bolt up all the suspension in the back there, and the traction bars and all that stuff, and put a floor in it. Once I get a floor in it, then it's just a matter of hooking up accelerator and brakes and hooking my steering up, and I go drive it. So basically a lot of stuff on these cars depends on what you do with the next little project. You have to do one thing in order to do something else, and sometimes you've got to do 2 or 3 things, then you got to back out of the whole thing. Anyway, enough blah blah blah. Let me start measuring here, and I'll cut these up, and we'll see how it goes. Well, I got this all mocked up. I got it stuck in this muffler about 1.5 inches, and I just got my extra pieces tack welded together, and I've got it where it's gonna clear that bottom cross member. This all looks pretty good. I have the same amount of pieces for the other side, and I bolted this valance on where it'll be good, and I cut me a hole here, and that's where the exhaust pipe's going to come out. It's tilted up a little right there, but I can trim it where it'll go down a little, and that's going to go straight to the double 90s that I got there and go under that frame. So I got 4 feet of pipe. That's much less than 4 feet, and it'll be a straight shot. I might have to put a little bend or two in it, but it's basically going to be a good straight shot. And I'll have a little bit of the stainless steel left, so I can bring this out a little further and cut it off at an angle, so I can slope it in like that so the rain and stuff don't get into it. But that don't look too bad. It's just happened to be kind of the project dictated where the stuff went. I guess I could have bent it down and took it under it, but I didn't. And I don't know what I'm going to do about bumpers on it. I was thinking about running a big heavy one all the way across here, but I think what I'll do is put like just bumper bars right on the back, and you know, like a big Cadillac, a 56 Chevy, vertical bars, you know, maybe a foot long. I'll have to find something pretty heavy. It's not going to have a great bumper on it, but at least I can put something on these ends. I mean, if something hits it in the middle, it's going to crunch this valance up pretty good before it ever gets to that frame. But mostly for appearance's sake and to cover up these big ugly frame horns. Well, I'll pull that pipe out, weld it up, press on. Well, there's my 2 muffler pieces welded up. I haven't welded this one here yet. This is the driver's side. I just kind of knocked them on there so they're about the same. This other one, the top one, I welded it all the way around. That's the passenger side, and I've already blocked it up and everything. I know that's what it's going to be like, and they're about the same length. The mufflers are probably a little different. Looks like that driver's side is sticking back a little more, but again, that can be pushed up into that header joint, and I can also shrink that other pipe. So that was it on that. I cut me a hole in this, and pipe fits in there pretty good. I'll have to get it permanent, and I've got a lot less than 4 feet here, so 2 more 4 foot of pretty stainless will look good under here, and I used up all my pieces except for, I think I got 6 inches left. I don't know where that one come from. Seemed like I would have 2 of them. Probably do somewhere. But anyway, I'll grind these up, squirt them with some paint, and see what they look like. Well, I just stuck them together, balanced them here on the old vise, and threw some paint on it. Excuse my mess. I've only got 50 gallons. We're remodeling the house, getting all kinds of construction trash. I just don't have the space right now to throw this away. Got to make a run to the dump. But anyway, it don't look too bad. It's not like I say, it's not going to be seen even. It's underneath the car, but I just knocked these welds down a little bit. Didn't want to take them all the way off because it killed my strength. And I left my little piece of tape on here on this one, so I know which one is the passenger side. Anyway, that was a lot of work there to get 1.5 feet of pipe, but now I'll have plenty. My stainless will be able to come to the back and look good. Anyway, I'll let this dry a little bit and I'll stick them in the car and may fire it up and get them hot. Well, there they are, both in. Of course, I got to adjust that driver's one. It's got to go down, and probably a little bit of playing with the length, but it looks real good. Semi-professional. So like and subscribe, guys. I'm gonna fire it up and see what it sounds like. Sounds pretty good. Still on a high choke. Big pipes give it a good rumble. Looks like I'm gonna miss my brakes there. Don't have to mess with that too much. Anyway, sounds pretty good. That probably warmed it up enough to help cook that paint. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's made a difference. So this took, at the rate I go, about 3 days to get it to this point. But we're all good. I got this valence here mounted. I bored a couple little holes in it. I was going to tap it for small bolts, but there's already a big one in there, so I just used it, and we'll be good. Exhaust system's a kind of a major step. and it really makes a big difference in a car what it sounds like. But everything will clamp in. I'll clamp it on the headers. I'll clamp it here at the back of the muffler, and then I have one more clamp right here in the back. So I have 3 clamps on each side, and I'll probably put hangers on the clamps if I can, and it'll hold it up from rattling or hitting anything, and I think we'll be good to go. Well, here's my next project. Got this old-timey heater. Got it painted up. Looks pretty good. Works all right. Not too loud. And got 2 bolt holes and 2 pipe holes. And it's going to go here on the firewall someplace. So I'm going to have to mark that, drill holes in my firewall, and mount her up. We'll see how that goes. Well, I started putting my little heater back together. It's got some little rubber spacers here that put this protective cover in over the fan. I just painted this black, but it's got these little rubbers that hold it in place. There's a little groove in each end. They were really hard. I broke about half of them. My dog got to another one, so it's beyond saving. But what I did was put them in there where the ends was broken, and I just squished them in there with a little JB weld. JB Quick. Taped it down good, so this is got pressure on it holding it in, and that'll be basically glued in place. And then I got my cover here. That'll go over it. I measured and measured. I almost cut this hole on the wrong side, but I've got the 2 places for the back and the 2 bolts, so my pipes will come through there. You can sort of see the back, so that'll go in right. I replaced the wire, and it's gonna cover a pretty big spot in there. Thing is, it hangs down about 6 inches below those bolt holes. I got up as high as I could because I've got that angle iron welded across the top of the firewall. Angle iron's going right here somewhere, so I got the top of the heater just below the angle iron, and I got it 3 inches off of the side of the firewall. Anyway, that's where Mr. Heater's gonna go. Don't look too bad. And the thing is, I can run both hoses right here. You can see them. They're gonna run almost straight shot into there. It's gonna look real good. And the Amazon snuck up and delivered my exhaust pipes. We'll pull those out and have a look at them. Well, look at that. Bright, shiny, stainless steel. Polished even. Well, that was pretty good, you know. I think that was I can't remember, 40 bucks, 50 bucks. At the time I was thinking, well, you know, kind of expensive, but they look great. Sure look a lot different than that aluminum stuff in there. Let me stick one in there and see if I can get it to fit. It should be all right. Oh boy, look at that. That's super nice. Super shiny. I ran it in there up to about where it's gonna go. But if I pull it up, I still gotta go up about another 1.5 inches. And before I hit this cross member, and I'm actually kind of bending this this thing here, so I knew this hole was probably going to be too small. You can see that mark there, so I gotta take my cutoff tool and our little die grinder and open this hole up a little bit, and then I'll have to cut it here a couple times. I'll cut it a 45, right about the 6-8 inches. Well, maybe 4. Bring it down until I can I'll just measure it, bring it down until I'm going under this cross member here, and then I'll have to cut the same amount and bring it back up. So I got 2 45s to cut. You can kind of see it's going up there, and so anyway, that'll take a little measuring and cutting. I can do that tomorrow. I've got a little dent here in this end of the pipe right there, so that'll be the end that I use in there. I'll just do the best I can to get this around what I need to do, and I may have to pound a little dent in this pipe. Yeah, to go over this thing. Not sure what I'm going to do there, but that's sure a nice looking piece of pipe. That'll finish up my tail piece altogether. Really all I'm waiting on now is clamps. So I'll get these 2 welded up tomorrow, put them in there, do whatever I need to do to clear that bar. I don't want the pipes poking up a little bit, or have a upward angle. I want them straight out, and then I can cut a 45 on the end of them. That'll keep rainwater and stuff from going down into them. And I should probably drill a little hole right in the bottom of that double 45 low place there, just in case water gets in it. It won't fill it up, and it'll just leak out, and a little 1/16 of an inch hole won't make any difference in the sound, but it will drain water out. Anyway, glad to see that, and tomorrow we'll finish up these pipes. The heater's almost, yeah, that's hard enough to put it back together. So I'll go ahead and put the screws back in this heater, and we'll stick it up in there and see what it looks like. Well, there's Mr. Heater in, and I screwed up, put it in 90 degrees off. That's The vent there on the right should be on the bottom. So these vents here, if they're open a little like that, that would be pointing the hot air over there towards the driver. I don't know what I was thinking about, looking at it upside down, and I can turn this cover around 180 degrees, but all that would do is put that on the other side. Disappointing. So at least I know where my cutouts are. So I'm going to have to, luckily I saved that little piece I cut out of there. So I'm going to take it out, rotate it 90 degrees, bore all of my holes again, weld up the stuff I did here, grind it off, try it again. What this is a 29 Chrysler, and I put my heater in it, but I got it off 90 degrees. You can see I patched that and welded it. But I got to drill like these two big mounting holes here. They're about 5/8. I got to drill one right here, and I've got to drill one down in there. So what I'm going to do is take a small drill me a pilot hole, mostly because I can't get a drill in this area here. I'm going to drill that bottom one from the back. I may drill this top one from the back too, but only way to tell where it's at is to put a pilot hole in it. So I'm going to put a pilot hole in it, and then we'll test these step drills. I used the smallest one just to start a little pilot hole in here, so I didn't cut my hole too big. You use quite a bit of pressure even on this soft steel to get it to start drilling, but it did okay. If you could press down on it or had it in a drill press, I'm sure it worked much better. But on a bendy piece of sheet metal, it took a little while to punch those through, but it did work good. Well, there's Mr. Heater in. It's don't look extremely straight, but the vents are going to open good, blow hot air over to the driver's side. They'll go either way. This bottom section here will blow air down on the feet. The floorboard is, about right here, so you got a couple inches to stick your feet under the heater, and enough room over here to put 1 foot. I don't know how these seats are quite a ways back. I don't think your feet are going to be under. I had plenty of room. So there's Mr. Heater in. I bored the holes right this time. I set those bolts with a level vertically, so I don't know what the deal is there. I'm going to have to weld up my holes here, but the heater's in. Let's see if we can get the fan part to do something. Well, I got it plugged in here. Yep, working good. Not got a whole lot of air coming out of it. Shut it down to one vent, it's got quite a bit. Yeah, that's quite a bit of air. I'm gonna try to blow some smoke in it, see what happens. I get my garlic. It's blowing quite a bit. Yeah, you can see it's moving air in here pretty good. So, it had a trouble sometimes when it was stopped. You turned it on, it wouldn't start again. Probably brushes are bad. Yeah, there we go. Of course, a little whack on it, fires right up. Probably when I get some hot water running through this thing, the heat itself will kind of help get that motor running a little better. But it's blowing good. My vents are working good. You shut her down, it's blowing air out of the bottom here. I've got a little 3-speed fan switch. I'm going to put it up here on the dash, and I'll wire that in and we'll see how that works. Well, I cut a 45 across that stainless, and I just put a piece of straight pipe in there, the old stuff, and kind of just roughly got it level there on top, and it's as good as I can get it here coming out of the valence. And I clamped it up tight against this bar, cross member. So I welded it in 2 or 3 places. Looks like that stainless is burning through real easy. So it's not very thick, not as thick as that other pipe I had. Anyway, let's see if I can get this out. Hopefully I'll be able to get it back enough to pull it out of that muffler. And then I have to push it through. I don't really want to cut it off yet here until I know this is going to work. Well, I just used a piece of straight pipe in there on those 45s, and of course because of the 45 it stuck out a lot. I didn't bad chatted it and split it, beat it down in there and welded it all up, ground it off a little. so it came out pretty easy. I had to take the pipe off the muffler back there, and then this came out of that, and then it pulled out. It was a little tough getting it out of this hole here, but basically we're in pretty good shape. I can put it back in now and see what it looks like. I think it's going to mount up real good, and I got plenty of room and it's moving around, so once I can get it where it's supposed to go, I'll get some good clamps on it, and that'll hold it, and then I'll put on muffler brackets. Well, there we go. One side's done. I cut off about a foot of pipe here, and I've got it shoved up in there pretty much far as it go. I can probably move it back 4 inches with no problem. And it's clear in there. I can twist my pipes. You see this one's tilted in a little to miss the traction bars, and got it at a good level. This is still going uphill just a little bit, but you can see I got about 3/4 of an inch there. It's hanging below the cross member, and I can pull that up. Mostly what's stopping me is right here now, but straight pipe's coming straight out. Looks pretty good if you ask me. Well, I'll cut me a hole in here. I'll measure this one, cut it in the same place, and now I know what I need. I just need one straight piece there, 6-7 inches long, whatever it is. I'll measure it, and a piece cut at a 45. I'll pull that out and measure it, and I'll just cut that pipe up over there. Cut one end at a 45, and I'll just leave one good piece, and I'll cut a little 6-inch piece off of this one here. So this one's not stainless, but this one will be, so maybe a little easier to weld. Well, there's our second piece. Did a much better job of it. I still bad chatted the end, but I cut the end off, and I used a piece on the inside there, so that gave me a better shot. I'm going to stick it in. Now there it is in. I haven't ground that one up. I just stuck it in there. I want to make sure I get the right length and stuff. I cut them off both about the same length. They're a little longer than what I want, but I can move that around. The mufflers are sitting good. I've more or less got the right angle. That passenger's a little low, but it's just, I can raise it up. I got to put a bracket on it. But this one's about where it's at. I got about a 1/2 inch between that brace, 2 inches between under the gas tank. That's good enough. These are coming out almost level, close enough for the girls I go out with. And I tried to start the other day, it just wanted to kick and quit. Turned out it was out of gas. I guess that gallon and a half didn't last too long playing with accelerator pump and stuff. So I want to put some gas in it and start it. We'll see what it sounds like. Well, I don't know if you can see this or not. I've got some lawnmower gas here. Of course, I still don't have the accelerator pump working. Whoa, man, that's plenty. Got about 4 gallons in it now. I'm going to put this on the first step off of the choke. Probably flooded the hell out of it. I poured a lot in there. Kind of sounds like an exhaust leak. Pump it full of gas. Doesn't sound bad at all. Still got some popping in it. Don't know what that is. Now my radiator fan just came on. Radiator cap fell on it. Quite a bit of smoke in here. Of course, it's still leaking. Some of this paint's getting hot, burning off. Yeah, I got a pretty good miss in it somewhere. It's running cold. Definitely something's wrong there. Air leak. Who knows? Man, I get a lot of smoke in here. probably not even got it close to being warm. No. This is up to 200. Getting warm. Yeah. Better get my fan back on here. Radiator cap's not on. Guess that might be a good idea. Use both hands here. Yeah, I'd let it run there, and that radiator cap, tightened it down and the fan turned on. Should have everything tight. Still got a mist in it. Well, it's getting better. And we're up to 220 and the fan just kicked on. So it sounds like that sending unit I got is good. Wish I knew what this mist was. Well, there's one of them that's not hitting a lick. That one's not firing. Wonder if I have them reversed. Nope. It's not firing on 2 cylinders. Actually, I'm only running on 4 cylinders. They're turned off and find out what's wrong. Well, I checked on that side over there. All 4 of those cylinders are dead cold. I think when I was fooling around here with a carburetor and this accelerator pump, I probably got this float stuck, and there's no gas going into that side, and that's why it wouldn't start. It was just trying to start on 4 cylinders, because the gas gauge did show me I had gas. Yeah, I put another 2 gallons in it. It brought it almost to half a tank. And I forget what that is. 15 gallon tank, I think. So I got at least 7 gallons in there. I probably still had gas in it. Anyway, that's a carburetor problem. The new thermostat I ordered turned right on at 200, what it's supposed to. I don't know where it'll turn off at. I forgot. I think it was 200 to 212 or something like that. So that's good to know that that's working right. Anyway, mufflers all fell down to the center there, and that probably made them stick up. Yeah, it did. But to be expected when nothing's bolted down. Yeah, this pipe's warm. This one's cold as ice. There's no gas going into one side of that carburetor. Anyway, that's a done deal here on the exhaust. I'll have another just normal video of welding on the hangers and final mounting them. But that's a full custom set all the way from the headers, using the 90, a J bend and a U bend, through some more or less turbo mufflers out to here, and then 8 feet of stainless pipe. I got about 2 foot of pipe left, so not much waste here. Like and subscribe, guys. Tell a friend. Appreciate you supporting the channel. I'd like to get more subscribers and more view time. So thanks a lot. Sure do appreciate you.